welcome to the BoshNRoll channel. If you want to support my daily Eternal Magic offerings while getting amazing perks like the BoshNRoll Discord community, have me play your deck on the channel, or listen sideboard guides before tournaments, check out the Patreon or YouTube membership program. This channel is possible because of these amazing sponsors. Check them out, all their links are in the video description. As always, thanks for being here. Let's go play some Magic. Welcome back to the BoshNRoll channel. Today I'm playing Modern at the request of Patreon subscriber Leo, and this is Temur Breach. This is the deck that I said would probably be the best deck when the massive ban and unban shakeup happened in the last ban cycle. The results of the regional championships and other Modern events along the way have borne that out. Forest Energy also still really good, of course, but this thing is kind of on another level. I expect in the end of the month, when we get another ban update, that Breach will probably be leaving the Modern format. I'm also recording this on February 13th, nearly a month before you're all going to see it, so we'll see if that something wild changes in the few weeks between when I'm recording this and when it goes live, but this deck looks like it's here to stay. It just keeps iterating. Also, if this list looks out of date, that's why. But this thing rules. First of all, you've got 7 Moxen. Mox Opal, the recently unbanned, and Mox Amber. Breach has been a deck the whole time without Mox Opal because of the strength of Mox Amber, getting Ragavan and Emery to turn on Mox Amber, and then it upgraded to Tamiyo, which is even better when that card was printed. The goal here is to resolve Underworld Breach, and then Grinding Station. Tap second artifact, target player mills 3 cards. Whenever an artifact enters, you may untap Grinding Station. Grinding Station plus a Mox Opal or Amber and Underworld Breach. You float a mana, then sack the Opal to Grinding Station. You exile the 3 cards. I mean, you can exile any cards, but the Grinding Station provides the 3 cards you need to escape the Opal, which untaps Grinding Station. You float a mana, then you do it again. And then you flip your whole deck. You have enough mana when you get there to cast the Grape Shot or Thassa's Oracle that the decks are winning with. Leo's going with Grape Shot. Has a little more utility in non-win the game situations than Oracle does. Leo also has Jace in the sideboard, which comes in almost every matchup. And this combo can happen really quickly. There's so many artifacts, it's not hard to get Metalcraft on turn 1 or 2. Your 4 Tamiyos, 4 Emerys turn on the Mox Amber. You're playing with almost vintage level mana here, if you could turn on the Moxen. Tamiyo is a draw engine if you're not comboing. Emery's a draw engine if you're not comboing. Urza's Saga is a card advantage and threat engine if you're not comboing. Malevolent Rumble, completely bonkers magic card in this context. I mean, this card's showing up all over Modern and Pauper formats where it's legal. Reveal the top 4 cards of your library. You could put a permanent from among them into your hand and put the rest into the graveyard. Make an Eldrazi spawn. This digs for Underworld Breach. It digs for Grinding Station. It puts 5 cards in your graveyard. Excuse me, 4 cards. The 3 that you didn't take, plus the Rumble itself. 4 cards of the graveyard for future breaching, or if those are artifacts, Emery can use them. And it spots you a mana, which means it's not hard to value Breach your way into a win. Like, if you have Breach and Rumble, I'd probably just send it. There's a good chance you're going to find what you need to win along the way. Flame of Anor, we got 3 of these across the 75. All your creatures are wizards, plus just a divination that also kills hate permanents and also kills opposing creatures to give you time to figure things out. This deck is a masterpiece. I am excited to play it before we're not allowed to play it anymore. I just wish I had a big Modern event to play, because this thing is beautiful. Here it is. It's Temur Breach. I'm on the draw in round 1. I am going to keep my hand. I have turn 1 Tamiyo, turn 2 Emery, at minimum. If I find green, I might just start doing stuff with Rumble. This looks like a mirror match. Bobble Bobble. Opal. Oh yeah. They're a mirror match where they're on the play and they have their Opal on. Oh my god. Well, this is why we play this deck. This is the nuts. Okay, Island, Tamiyo. I guess I might as well play out the Opal. Does it matter? I'm not sure. They might Haywire Might my Opal. That would be a little annoying, I guess. But they have a draw engine online with both Tamiyo and Emery I kept this hand because I was like, hell yeah, I can have Tamio and Emery in play at the end of turn 2, and they have them both at the end of turn 1. Their mill was pretty weak. It's 2 sagas and a rumble and a heat. Bobbling me. They can afford to use both baubles here, and they'll still have Metalcraft because Tamio makes a clue. Didn't go for it, though. Drew a land. If they had bobbled twice, Tamio also would have flipped. Oh, yeah, okay. So Tamio would actually not have made a clue because it would have already been a Planeswalker before combat. Just managing all the moving pieces of this deck is fun. I'm going to block. I don't expect a ninja, but they exist, so might as well. Alright, crack their clue, flip the Tamio, second main. And now they have a Tamio online, which can buy back that Unholy Heat or Malevolent Rumble. Either one has a lot to like about it if you're the bad guy, which my opponent is. I attack you. I'll make my clue. I don't have the third artifact to make this work. I do get Emery for 1, though. And my opponent will have to decide which of my creatures they want to destroy and how they're going to do it. They will have Delirium, no problem, for this Unholy Heat, if that's even the plan. They might just grab the Malevolent Rumble and try to win this turn. If I can get this Flame of Anor on, which means 1 more combat step with Tamio, things start to look really good. Yeah, 1 combat step with Tamio or 1 activation of Emery. Either one gets Flame going. Plussing the Tamio again. Their 5-card hand already good enough. Dragon's Rage Channeler. Okay, my build doesn't have that. That also makes attacking with Tamio a lot worse. Playing Bauble. Channeler can give you some interesting breach lines because if each of the baubles you cast out of the graveyard also mills you for 1, you can go off from lower resources than a typical breach deck. Here's a grinding station. Let's see if I'm dead. They have an Opal in the graveyard. If there's a breach in the hand, they could probably just win right now. Soul Guide Lantern. Well, that's bad news too, but for different reasons. Milled over a Haywire Might. Took my Bauble, which is, of course, the correct thing to take. Big draws. Underworld Breach. Well, they have a Soul Guide Lantern literally face up in play. If I attack with Tamio, I can destroy their Soul Guide Lantern and draw 2 cards before Dragon's Rage Channeler kills Tamio. Alright, this looks like what I have to do. Attack my opponent. Okay. Flame of Anor, destroy target artifact, and I'll draw 2 cards. I think trying to get my own game plan going is much better than trying to kill their Emery at this point or kill their DRC. Oh, Spell Pierce, fuck me. Alright, well, roasted. Yeah, cheap interaction's good. Who knew? Right, Tamio's dead. I got more where that came from. Emery, target, Mox, Opal. If they Soul Guide Lantern this, I'm not even heartbroken about it. Okay, that's fine. That gives me Rumble into Breach next turn, and I have 2 Emerys, which can also mill lots of cards. Fingers crossed here. They've got 4 cards in their hand and a Tamio rebuy. Amber, 3 cards left. And the Grinding Station's in the graveyard. If they find Breach, it's just over. Rumble. A lot of lucks at Breach. Found a Dragon's Rage Channeler and 3 lands. Okay. They took the Dragon's Rage Channeler with that. 2 cards left. And Tamio still has an activation. They could try to go Ultimate next turn, or they could just grab Spell Pierce and be pretty safe right now. They're playing an Opal out of the graveyard with Emery. Still milling. Just dumping cards like crazy. Tamio is buying back Malevolent Rumble. They're taking their shots here. Still have the mana available to cast Breach. This is another 6 looks, and they kept the card on top, so it must be Breach. I think you'd bin literally any card except that. Yep, there it is. And the game is over. There's so many cards in the graveyard. There's so much selection. There's no way I can actually get through this. Or they don't have the station in play yet, but they have a second Opal in the graveyard. They will soon. Alright, yeah, I'm dead. I guess I should wait to see if they have Grape Shot or whatever. I could get a look at their list. It is technically correct to look at the cards in their deck here, even though I would like to concede and move on with my life. I'm glad I could showcase the deck, even if it's just losing to it. Grape Shot revealed. I've seen what I need to see. Cool. I believe you're going to win. Okay, the good cards here, there are quite a bit of them, like Nature's Claim, Lines Up Here, Consign, Pithing Needle. These all have text. I'm basically going to try to take the posture of Temur Control with a combo pivot, and every opponent on every deck is going to have a ton of sideboard for you. They're going to have like 6+ cards for you. So it's okay to back off of some amount of the combo. A lot of them can beat Urza Saga in ways that are frustrating. Maybe I don't need this lightning bolt with all these flames. I just don't want to cut any more of my core, and just kind of picking the most important cards, which I think are Flame of Anor and Jace, is what I'm going to do here. Okay, this one is a turn 2 Flame of Anor with Kicker, unless they kill my Tamiyo, but then they spent their turn doing that. I think I'm just going to play Tamiyo and pass. I don't want them to know what I'm capable of. Oh wait, I'm a mana short. I need to draw a land for the Flame of Anor to work. It's alright. I'll rumble if Flame doesn't come together. They have to have Lightning Bolt here because Unholy Heat doesn't get it. Alright, big moment to draw a land. Big land, Unholy Heat. I could rumble my way into a Heat, or into Delirium for Heat. Okay, I mean, I'm definitely attacking. They didn't block, coward. They said in the chat, no, I meant to block. Yeah, you missed your chance. Just gotta live with it. Okay, I'm gonna rumble, try to hit a red source. My only choice is Underworld Breach. I will take it, I guess. And I've only drawn one card this turn, so I guess I'll bobble you. Do I want the bobble? I think I'm gonna hold on to the bobble. If they kill my Tamiyo, then the bobble's worse. This Eldrazi spawn at least cast Flame of Anor if nothing else does. But they know I have Breach now. It's face up. Gotta respect it. Making their clue. Did they have the start that I wish I had? Sap Perfect Springs tapped. Right. Made a blue. Played Mox Opal. Emery. Emery's in. They are tapped out of Spell Pierce here. I like that, which means I can afford to bobble them now. Misty on top of your deck. I draw 2 cards here. An attack with Tamiyo to get my Metalcraft back. And then I'm going to kill... I think I'm more worried about Emery. Do I have a win here? I could Breach. No, I'm not even close. What am I talking about? Okay. Flame of Anor. Kill Emery and draw a card. Or draw 2 cards. I draw 2, kill Emery. I think that's the one I'm more worried about. If this hits a red source, I can also kill Tamiyo. Hit a green source instead. And I'll take a land however it looks at this point. And Emery can also just die to Unholy Heat without Delirium. But I think I had to flame there. Flame on. Tamiyo attack. This turns on Opal. Leaving up all the mana. That's a little scary. Okay, Jace Wielder. I think I'd like to start with a Preordain. Just see where that goes. Land. Do I want Urza Saga? I'm going to bottom Saga, top Island. Play the Island. I only have 3 card types in the graveyard. Emery could change that. Emery could change me. Okay, here's Emery. Can't Spell Pierce this. 4 card types in the graveyard now, including Grinding Station. I'm going to grab Unholy Heat with Tamiyo. I already have one, but if they choose to fight over this, that's another one I have. Okay, I'm passing here. I think I was supposed to get Flame of Anor with this Tamiyo. My brain was like, you're going to heat this Tamiyo, their Tamiyo, and just forgot I already had one. That was not a correct play. I should have Flame or Rumble in my hand. They're eating one of their clues. 1 mana left. I will deploy the Unholy Heat. They do not have the Spell Pierce. Let's see if they untap and combo me. Another one. That guy. They do not have Metalcraft anymore. A temporary reprieve from that. Okay, there is a Bauble and a Grinding Station in my graveyard. There is an Underworld Breach in my hand. Tamiyo can't do anything else. I'll start by plussing that. If I play Breach, play Station, if it all works, I win. I am pretty far ahead on the control game, though, if I just settle into this. I'm going to get this Bauble back with Emery. And Bauble you. I'd like some information, please. Scalding Tarn. Play Frush Tamiyo. I have to be careful how I manage my card draws. because it is not optional to flip Tamio, and I already have the Planeswalker one. Nature's Claim targeting my Opal. I'll respond to that by... Am I more worried about DRC or Tamio? I think it's Tamio. Okay, heat the Tamio. They're going to mill away the Scalding Tarn almost certainly. Okay. My Tamio can block their Dragon's Rage Channeler. Grape Shot. Don't really want that in my hand. The Channeler is a really exciting object that they have in these slower post-board games that I don't have. They can play more Delver, where I have to play more control. Urza Saga. Channeler has to fight, so this attack doesn't necessarily mean they have the Grape Shot or the Unholy Heat to finish off my Tamio, but I'm blocking regardless. And I can draw one card here. I've drawn one this turn. Getting another one, another Boseiju. Not a helpful land, but is helpful versus the other stuff going on. Okay, I'm going to go to combat first. Make sure my clue token is in the bank. Target Mox Opal. Get that back into play. Storm is 1. I don't think I want to lose my Tamio yet, but Tamio picking up Flame of Anor is pretty sick. The cards in my graveyard are just so bad right now. I don't have a second Opal. I could Emery and just mill a bunch more cards, see if things change. I'll keep the untapped one. There's a Bauble in my graveyard now, so even if Breach fails, I can at least draw some cards. Okay, I'll play Otawara and go for a Breach. Probably should have picked up Spell Pierce, but I don't have the mana to play it, so it doesn't matter that much. Okay, I'll play the Grinding Station and just try for the win, and if it gets disrupted, I'll do something else. Nature's Claim targeting Breach in response. I'm a mana short of Spell Piercing this. They have plenty of mana to pay for that. That's fine. The Grinding Station comes in. Not going to use it. And I think I'm going to delete this Tamio to get a Malevolent Rumble back. Dig for the next Breach. Wow, I get a mana? That's so cool. I forgot that was going to happen. So I actually could have had mana for Spell Pierce, but like I said, they have it up, so it doesn't matter. I guess I get a green here, and I could Boseiju. I have lots of legends. Take out this Urza Saga. Cracking a Clue in response. Do they have lands left to tutor for? I don't see many in their graveyard, so they must. Thundering Falls. Opponent has a Breach now. They do not have a station in their graveyard. They do have a DRC in play and multiple Baubles to flip stuff. This could be a value breach. They could just pivot and win. Maybe it's just a mistake to ever try to go for anything in the mirror. If I have Tamio and Emery going, maybe I'm just supposed to never make the first move. They bauble. They can play Emery for another big dig. Haywire Might, second breach. They still haven't found the combo. They can still bauble a few more times and keep flipping though. This is what I was trying to do. If my Grinding Station got Spell Pierce is what I was going to do, but just killing the breach itself. Cut off this line as well. They kept a card on top. Or no, they milled Breeding Pool. Never mind. There's Jace. So that's a win con if this goes far enough, which winning was not the gate. The going off was the gate. Opal, they will have 4 cards left in the graveyard, or the other Opal dies, so it'll be 5. DRC from the graveyard. Now they're out of things to breach with. They can put 3 Baubles into the graveyard. And if they exile the 2 other Baubles and the Jace, casting a Bauble here gives them 2 mills. 2 DRCs is pretty close to a Grinding Station. They are going for it. Tormod's Crypt. Yikes. Scalding Tarn. They need to find another way to put a card in their graveyard before they can escape anything else. 2 cards been sitting in their hand this whole turn. Oof. Wasn't this just... Oh no, they don't. They're out of red mana. Okay. I was about to say, isn't this just lethal? But they can Wrath my board. And I'm at 26 from some passive life gain things that have happened. But they will be delirious here. Doing some damage to me, some damage to my creatures. Ooh, they missed one. Alright, there was a misclick somewhere along the way. Resolving storm spells on Magic Online is tough. They're not done yet, though. Another Bauble. Tamio. Emery. Emery's a lot of flips. They can't cast Emery, though, because they don't have enough artifacts. Amber is bad. That's good for blue mana. They didn't mill a card. What card would you not mill here? Or are they just going to pass and then draw 65 cards? Okay, so the Breach died. They have 5 Bauble triggers. And I need to find a Breach of my own here. They could have... Oh no, they exiled the Tormod script. Wow. All right. Lots of decisions could have been made differently than they were this turn. I'm not saying anyone was wrong, but I'm saying there were other lines there that were not taken. I'm holding Jace. Either Spellbomb, Bauble are the things in my graveyard. I'm going to Rumble and hope that we get there. Rumble, show me a Breach. None of these are Breach. Soul Guide Lantern is a nice consolation prize, though. Soul Guide Lantern, I will take that one. Storm is 1. I could Grape Shot their DRCs away, but if I shoot one, the other one gets Delirious, but Soul Guide Lantern will take them off that, so that's not even a problem. Alright, I guess I'm just playing a Bauble this turn then. Okay, they've had enough. They shot their shot and missed. I could go full control mode, especially on the draw. What does that even look like, though? All my cards are either feeding my combo or stopping theirs. I could shave a second Rumble, but I don't want to cut any more of the cards that I play. Alright, I'll shave the second Rumble, even though I don't love it. I could also see Lightning Bolt being reasonable to have. Alright, I don't hate this hand if I'm in control mode. Steam Vents, DRC, Opal. How many artifacts are coming? Will you have turn 1 Delirium? Mill land. Okay, we're not going to have turn 1 Delirium. I'm just going to get a Steam Vents and kill this thing. It's a sick backup plan. It's card selection. It's Breach Fuel. Saga. Seems we have very similar opening hands here. They've got a Raw Dog Grinding Station, though. Okay, I drew the Stomping Ground. What does that mean for me? It's generally right to fetch before you preordain, because if you top, you have to lose a card to shuffle. If you put anything on the bottom, once you shuffle, those bad cards are back in the mix. But I have cards that are red, blue, and green that I might want to draw here. So I actually am just going to preordain, leaving my land drop wide open. Spellsnare and Besieger are both good cards. I'm going to go top, and play Scalding Tarn. With this Grinding Station just sitting here, I'm dead to Breach. I have to respect it. Bauble. This turns on Opal. Okay, do I want Besieger, or do I want to Surveil? Now I have to beat Saga Constructs. Besieger plus Spellbomb does do that. Okay, I will draw for turn. Play my own Saga, and pass. Okay, they're making the creature. I have to get Breeding Pool. This is still quite a bit of value they're getting out of this Saga. That's what being on the play does. I'm going to take at least 1 hit for at least 4. But then Spellbomb can stabilize. Oh, my opponent's also at under 5 minutes to my 10.5. That has kicked in somewhere along the way. I don't want to play to that. But we've had quite a match here. Rumble. I don't think I want to fight the Rumble. Because if they're tricking me and there's a Breach, or if they Rumble into Breach, I kind of get them both. They took Urza's Saga off that Rumble. A good find as well. Nature's claiming my Saga. Okay. I boarded out some of my Sagas because of how weak they are to the cards that come in anyway. And, you know, maybe that's not great. Like, my opponent just having multiple Sagas here looks really good. But at the same time, I think it makes sense. At least theoretically, even if it's not working out for me right now. Samio, bounce this, and get the Hedge Maze. I might not have had a fetchable blue source. Oh, there is an island. All right, cool. There was an island left. Grinding Station doesn't help, but if I rip Breach here, I win. But they are sitting on a card. Okay. Mox Amber, and then Tameo, in that order. So I have the blue, even if they kill Tameo. Preordain. Nature's Claim. Nature's Claim, Ottawara. Okay, so we're right back in the same spot. Top. And I'm going to play Stomping Ground tapped. I'm in the same spot again where I can kill the Urza Saga after it makes one construct, and then I can bounce that construct to clear it. I am going to take 5 off this attack, though. Okay, they just passed. Otawara for stability. Attack with my Tamiyo. Otawara costs 3 to activate. I'm not going to crack my clue now. I'll do it in their end step. Attacking Otawara. Bounce the 5/5. That's going to be a 6/6. Now we're back to... They have more resources than me, but nobody's taken any damage. Jace Wielder, that's tough. Now they can just start value grinding stationing themselves, and they have a draw engine online. I need an Unholy Heat to kill this thing ASAP, or a Breach to win. I own Grinding Station. Okay, I'm going to attack and immediately draw a card. They're not value grinding themselves yet. Eat this clue. Flame of Anor. This deals 5 to target creature. Alright, I'm going to sit on the Flame of Anor, even though it rules. Because there is a win the game button in their deck that I have to leave up answers to. If they activate Jace this turn, Tamiyo will flip. Alright, yeah, here we go. Milling 2, Tamiyo flips. Going to combat first would have earned them a clue. Life from the Loam targeting Boseiju Saga. I do have that card in my sideboard. I didn't bring it in. I wasn't expecting it to get that grindy. But it's cool that it did. Mox Amber currently makes green, so that Boseiju works. Basically locked to the Loam here. Unless they tap their mana in a way that is foolish. Okay, drawing a card with clue, using the Mox Amber. That means Boseiju's off for this turn. If I spike a Breach, or you spike a Breach and I counter it. Okay, left that up the entire game. Now let's see if I can capitalize to get 1 turn. Time to draw a Breach of my own. Bauble is not a Breach. Okay, I'm going to attack first to get the clue, and then kill DRC and draw some cards. Red, blue, green. Red, blue, colorless. The green doesn't matter. Found a Rumble and a land, which means I can still win this turn. Plus Tamiyo. Okay, they are grinding themselves. All right, found the value grind line that I was hoping they wouldn't. All right, Malevolent Rumble. If this finds a Breach, I might do something here. It did find a Breach and an Opal. Did we win? Breach and Opal from the graveyard. Let's pop this thing out for easy use. All right, my opponent can grinding station themselves every time I make a move, but I don't think that's good. Or I guess I needed a second Opal to go off here. Yeah, my mana short. Shit. Okay. Mismanaged that. I can deal 6 damage to Jace, though, and then they have to find a different win condition. Bauble you. I want to know what you're working with over there. A Mox Opal. And I could... Nope, I can't leave up Nature's Claim. It is not in my hand. Okay, Unholy Heat, target Jace. And I have to make sure I still have Delirium when this resolves. I've got Enchantment Land, Artifact, Creature, as long as I leave that alone. Okay, Jace got roasted. Mishra's Bauble. Now I'll do a value card draw situation. Bauble. Bauble. I'll leave Rumble and Flame in the graveyard and draw a bunch of cards. We're both in the red on our clocks here. We draw 4 cards. I wish I had 1 mana up. It didn't matter. There's 3 breaches in the graveyard already. Picked up Rumble. Rumble did not reveal a breach. They took Mishra's Bauble. They grinded themselves. Still grinding themselves. Do they just have like Thassa's Oracle in the hand? Or is the 4th breach just already there? Life from the Loam targeting Shifting Woodland, which can turn into Breach. I guess technically they win here, but they are out of time. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, okay. The Life from the Loam getting back Shifting Woodland is insane. That was a sick line. They really found it, but just ran out of time. What an insane matchup this is. The BoshNRoll channel is brought to you by Tales of Adventure. TOAMagic.com has almost 100,000 unique cards in stock. They offer free track shipping on every order, plus next day or 2-day options when you have an event coming up fast. They offer on-site pickup at major Magic events throughout the US, so you're never scrambling before your tournament. Stop by their booth to buy, sell, or trade at upcoming regional championships, Magic Con, Spotlight Series, and more. I love their selection of individually scanned high-end cards that show you exactly what you're buying. And the best part is saving 5% on every order with promo code BOSH. From Ancestral Recall to Zombie Master, get what you need quickly and in one place at TOAMagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the play in round 2 with an insane hand. I'm going to keep it. This is turn 1 Emery plus Preordain. Fetch. I think I want to get the Breeding Pool because this Malevolent Rumble is insane. Just going for speed here. Game 1 combo deck. Oh, Subtlety. Pitching Force Negation. So this is probably something like Living End. I will put Emery on top of my deck, actually. Thanks for asking. And I'm not going to give up this Mishra's Bauble, because if I miss on a land or replacement artifact, I'm cooked. Okay, upkeep, Thought Scour, target me. Alright, my Emery's gone. So this is not Living End. Grinding Station, Preordain, found a land and Spell Snare. I'll go top, and I am going to bauble them now. I think, yeah, I was about to say, I think this is Murktide as I reveal a Murktide. And now I could Spell Snare a Psychic Frog. This Frogtide's back to playing Subtleties. They weren't for a while. Okay, my Surveil land is green. I don't have a Thundering Falls in my list. Okay, well here's this lady again. I'm going to go Steam Vent's Grinding Station. Grinding Station is like potentially a scary enough card that it would be worth a counter, even though it actually doesn't do anything. Okay, they didn't fall for it. But it is in play, and it makes Emery cheaper next turn, which means I can Spell Snare a counterspell on my Emery. They dumped a Polluted Delta off their Surveil. Bauble. Play Emery. I'm going to use my red mana because I could Rumble if Emery resolves. I flipped a Breach. I guess I'll Rumble here. This gets Spell Snared or Spell Pierced, which Emery doesn't. Alright, put Breach in my hand. Just sprinting for the exit. If they main deck Graveyard Hate, they've got some action. Undercity Sewer. I'm going to bauble them after that's done resolving. Watery Grave is their draw this turn. Fatal Push. Yeah, that's fine. She's gone. Sink into Stupor. That means if I draw a land, I could protect Breach with Sink. I can already protect it from Counterspell. Oh, that's interesting. The fun of Savine's Wreck. Okay. I think I want to play Sink as the land and go red colorless Breach. Hope their interaction is Counterspell and nothing else. Fudge. Okay, that's gone. And I'll pass. Now I need an Opal and I'm back in. The Savine's Wreck only working off Opal is awkward. This is tech from Edgar Magaesh. There's the Murktide. I have 3 more draws this game. No, I have Delirium. I can kill this thing. Draw. Unholy Heat. That's gone. I guess I should play the other Grinding Station. Just having artifacts around is useful. That taps me out of Spell Snare on potential Psychic Frog this turn, though. Or Orcish Bowmaster right now. I'm less worried about that one. Though it is still pressure. Okay, so another Breach, a Mox Opal, a Shifting Woodland. All get the party started. Thought Scour, yourself, Milda, Delta, and another Thought Scour. 1 card left in their hand. Come on, deck. Good ones. Urza Saga's a good one. That can tutor Mox Opal before I'm dead. And just putting a 4/4 on this board stabilizes it completely. Another Saga. Keep them coming. Fatal Push can shove through 2 more damage, but the Opal will kill them on my turn. So right now they have to manage a board full of big creatures and Savine's Wreck. And then I can Savine's Wreck again on the following turn because that's how Savine's works. So like they do have the... I'd shoot the Sheriff. I'd rather take 2 damage and keep the Spell Snare for Counterspell. I just think that's going to be more useful to me. They drew Rumble. All right, do I make the Construct? That does put them in the position to have I can make the other construct if I need to. Okay, I'm just going to float colorless, get Opal, and try to send it. Okay, white, colorless, blue, Savine's Wreck, targeting Underworld Breach. And I still have the mana up to make a construct if that's what this game comes down to. Sink into Stupor. Okay, that does buy them a turn. I'm not going to try to rumble into it when I have the face-up constructs that can stabilize the board again. Yeah, they scooped it. Cool. Yeah, just push, 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 push. Work your way through it. Okay, Flames and Jaces always coming in. They have stuff like Nile Spellbomb and Dothy Voidwalker in the sideboard. Saga's good here. They do some of their own graveyard stuff. I like Soul Guide Lantern. The usual trimming of the combo adjacent objects or more normal magic objects. Lightning Bolt, Nadal, I could see arguments for either. They're going to have consigned memories if they want them. I think I'm going to keep this pretty light and make this my plan. Harbinger of the Seas is a card they could have, which is really good against my Sagas. That's not in every list, but it is around. Okay. All my colors and dope cards to cast. That's all I want. Gotta take some beats for this mana base. That's the world we live in. Are they gonna Thought Scour or Fatal Push? It is the Fatal Push, sure. Okay, they have the Frog. This is the game they want to be playing. I'm gonna preordain before I do anything else. Amber, Breeding Pool. Neither of these cards seem important to me. Bottom. There's a Saga going. Yeah, that opened the clean Fatal Push on my Tameo. I could have preordained and then Fatal Push doesn't line up, but if they just have Consider Thought Scour instead, then it's foolish not to make them have it. Okay, Stomping Ground gets me all my colors. I'll lean on that first. And I'm just going to let Saga run its course here. They're missing land drops. Okay, they found one. It's turn 4, so they have 6 spells in their hand right now. Having the Pithing Needle end and name Psychic Frog would be pretty powerful. Let's see if they discard any cards when my Saga reaches its conclusion. I am about to have 4 card types in the graveyard with Unholy Heat in my hand. I like all that. Haywire might either Spellbomb. I could get Opal to unlock the mana. Yeah, I think I like Opal. That lets me play another Saga and still have Unholy Heat available. If I heat this Frog, they can keep it alive. It just takes a lot of cards. Okay. Something's happening in the end step. Sauron's Ransom. That's fun. Do they want to discard most of their hand right now to this Psychic Frog? If I'm going to do this, I should do it now. Okay, Unholy Heat. I would keep my Frog alive, personally. It could get the game 1 and 2 hits. All right, yeah, they're doing stuff, but this is like a Hymn to Turok for 5 cards. I'll take those. That's 4 cards discarded. And 1 more. You get to keep 1 card in this hand. And I'm okay flushing out their hand like this because I have the whole combo in my hand. They get to keep 1 card. If they could keep 0, that would be better for me, obviously. All right. Sink into Stupor, gone. Frog survives. And Sauron's Ransom happens. Fatal Push, Thoughtseize. I'm going to put Thoughtseize in the face-up pile and the 3 cards in the face-down pile. Like, just look at a card that is reasonable or grab 3 cards. Okay, they took Delta Fatal Push over the Thoughtseize. Explosives for 0. That kills the Opal, but that's okay. Their hand has to be Spell Snare now. The Spell Pierce does it too. Spell Pierce or Spell Snare. They do have a land drop, so I guess if they have a counterspell. I know Fatal Push is in their hand right now. And outside of that, we are just ripping it. Oh, I'm not even ripping it. I don't have... Or I can find mana eventually, I guess. Okay, Steam Vents, Underworld Breach, and they had Spell Snare. Cool. Made a game out of it. Okay, the Needle to name Frog is something, but that assumes that they have Frog in play. Like, I could get either Spellbomb to clear a Frog. I don't think I like that. Yeah, I'm gonna just put the same deck in. I'm just on the play this time. Okay. Turn 1 Tameo Preordain. With multiple looks at a turn 2 Flame of Anarch on Queso. And I'm gonna get Steam Vents for this. Steam Vents. I think I should play Mox first. I think I should have played Mox before I even played my land, just in case they get it in their head to force a negation my Mox. Preordain, just playing Vintage over here. I do like land number 3. I don't think I like Tamiyo number 2. Though that does reload my Flame. Okay, I'm actually going to go top here. And I'm going to bobble my opponent. Yeah, Storm is 4. I'm passing turn 1 and Storm is 4. And if they Fatal Push me, I'll have Delirium. Water Grave. Fatal Push. Scalding Tarn. Play the Re-Tamiyo. I could have bottomed that second Tamiyo because I already have one, but instead recognize that Magic is a game where resources go back and forth, and I might need a second one, and I'm really happy I made that decision. That's something that I see a lot of people make the mistake of, both in their play and in deck building. They're just assuming that the first thing's going to work, and you usually need a second or third thing. Okay, they have a Watery Grave untapped. I'm just going to get my Hedge Maze. Soul Guide Lantern, I like that. They are a graveyard deck of sorts. Attack. I'm going to play my Breeding Pool, and I'm going to cast Soul Guide Lantern off of Mox Amber. And I'll take that Fatal Push out of there. And I'm just going to wait on this Flame. I don't want it pierced. I think Consider's okay. Kept the card, okay. Fatal Push. Okay, disappointing. I've missed my chance to flip Tamiyo, but I think I can live with it. I have Spell Pierce in my deck. All right, I'll just not do that. I could have just sent it and had a Planeswalker with 1 more mana. I could have drawn 3 cards right there, but I didn't have that, obviously. Saga. New plan. Murktide would be 6/6 right now, dies to Unholy Heat, so I don't need to bomb them. Now Murktide would be fudge-enormous. Right. I am going to exile their graveyard in their upkeep. No Oculus, no Murktide. And I'm going to be... They have Orcish Bowmaster. All right, I'm not going to just draw 2 cards here. Multiple Flames. I am going to shock in Stomping Ground. That way, if I need to Flame a Vanor, I can also fend off a Bowmaster. Consider. Got rid of Nile Spellbomb. Interesting. Thoughtseize. Okay. My hand is 2 of the good card, 1 of the other card. 2/2. Well, there's that one. Might have tutored for that. 3/3. I think I want Bobble here. Just because we have seen Engineered Explosives in the deck, and I'd at least like to get a card out of my card if they sweep all this up. Force of Negation on Aether Spellbomb. That's where my opponent is right now. I'm not going to turn this Bobble into a card. It's worth 2 power and toughness on the board. Not unless they play a sweeper. Murktide can be 6/6 right now. Fetch down to 9. Okay, this looks like an Oculus. Oh no, it is a Murktide. And it is stopping at 6/6. I do not want to let them Spell Snare, or Spell Pierce an effect this early, or this late. Alright, Unholy Heat. Counterspell, and there is Underworld Breach in my hand right now. I could just attack them. They have to block. Murktide dies, I draw 2 cards. Is there a better thing to do with Breach? I think I'm just going to attack. There are 5. If I Breach, play Tamiyo, Mox Amber's on. That doesn't solve any problems. Alright, I'm going to Flame, dealing 5 to Murktide. Make them figure out this 3/3 with their 2 cards while I still have my Win the Game card in my hand. Sauron's Ransom, let's go. Thoughtseize, sink into Stupor. Alright, I'm going to put Thoughtseize and Fetchland face up, and then sink into Stupor. Maybe I'll just put sink into Stupor face down. What do I want them to do? I want them to tap out for sink into Stupor. My Breach is medium, but I mean, a medium Breach here is really good. I'm going to go sink into Stupor versus the other 3, and they can see the sink. This is the... Here, look. There's the answer to all your problems. It's face up right there. Or do you want 3 mystery cards? I got them on the ransom last time. They picked the wrong pile. But they did win the game. But they took the Thoughtseize pile. If they Thoughtseize, they just lose. Okay, attack you for 3. Now that Thoughtseize doesn't work anymore, I'll play out my island and pass. And they're out of here. I feel like I won the sub game both times on Sauron's Ransom. Feels good. On to the next round. This video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, the easiest way to build Magic decks online. Moxfield supports over 30 formats, including Legacy and everything else you'll see on this channel. There's multiple customizations so you can interact with your deck how you want. Views such as text, grid, or stacks, and groupings like type, subtype, color, color identity, even artist. The site offers light mode, dark mode, and so much more. However you want to see your deck, Moxfield can provide it for you. Follow my Moxfield to keep up with the channel and what I'm playing in paper. I'll see you there.
I'm on the play with a hand that doesn't have any mana. I'm gonna mulligan, unfortunately. This one cooks. Keep bottom one of the opals. Opponent's also on 6. I'm gonna get Breeding Pool and play Tamiyo. I'm also gonna play Opal just in case I get Thought Seized. I actually do like the Opal. The Tamiyo is building out artifacts over time. Blood Crypt. Those are Thought Seize colors. Lightning Bolt. It's also Lightning Bolt colors. Calls them like I sees them. Oh, hello. Okay. Well, I'm going to cast Malevolent Rumble, and then the rest of my hand. Steam Vents, Rumble, Shifting Woodland, I guess is what I want here. And then Amber. Oh, wait, that's not how that works. I needed to sequence that the opposite way. Good job, me. Wait, no. I can sack my Eldrazi spawn. It's fine. We did it. Just in case this is some Vengevine strategy. If I had done that in the other order, I could have kept the spawn, though. That was loosey-goosey. The opponent is representing Orcish Bowmaster. Another Opal. I can turn Shifting Woodland into Tamiyo if I want to. Orcish Bowmaster, my goodness. That was an opportunity to draw a card with Soul Guide Lantern, but I'm holding on barely to Metalcraft. They might still be a deck that uses their graveyard. Street Wraith, Arena of Glory. I feel like I'm about to get my head kicked in by something. They have Exerted. Seize and Pyromancer, off you go. This will turn on a hollow one as well. Street Wraith, Mountain Netherglyph in the bin. Okay, draw for turn. Hope it's a big one. Sink into Stupor. It's not nothing. Oh, if I had shocked that in, I would be dead. Okay, never mind. Because I can turn Shifting Woodland into Tamiyo, attack it a clue, then it turns back into a tap Shifting Woodland, but I'm under a lot of pressure to make that my engine. Faithless Looting. I don't think I'm fighting that. Discarded 2 lands. If I sink into Stupor, the Pyromancer, they can replay it next turn with haste. I could bounce one of these tokens, and then it's gone. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could draw a card with Soul Guide Lantern, then bounce the Orc Army after the damage is done. I actually think I like that. Okay. Sack this to draw a card, because I need to put something in here. Oh, they have a second Orc. That's not too bad. This is going to be extra damage. So I'll be at 7, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 coming in. So I'll be at 3, and I got to figure it out from there. Or no, 2, because there's this ping as well. Ping. Edge Maze, not what I'm looking for, I'm going to be honest. I'll bounce their 4/4. I go to 2. I can't draw cards. I have to win without drawing cards. Well, that is Underworld Breach. But, okay, so Breach. Oh, I don't even. Oh, I have Soul Guide Lantern in the graveyard, which would turn on Opal twice. That's enough to rumble once. All right, here we go. Let's try to do anything. Or, yeah, Soul Guide Lantern is the one I have to play first. If I can get this Tamiyo in the mix, that affects the Amber. Is Tamiyo's not just free here. Nothing's just free because they cost the escape cost as well. Right, Opal, Opal, Green, Green, Malevolent Rumble, Exile Preordain. I won't be casting that this turn. I found another Breach, an Opal, and an Amber. I'll take another Opal and play this Opal. Keep this one. This gives me another Rumble. Exile the other Breach and the Amber. Emery, Opal, Tamiyo. I already have an Opal in the graveyard. Getting Emery into play is really exciting here. That's a big mill, and it turns on Amber. Okay, Emery, play Opal, exile the Tamio Saga, play Emery. She dumps 4 cards in the graveyard and gives me Amber now. There's Grape Shot. My opponent is at 13. There's Grinding Station. Did I just win? I think I did. Grinding Station. Exile, Preordain, Emery, Opal, and mill myself on the entrance trigger. Yeah, you're dead if you don't have some free graveyard hate right now. Float red, mill myself. This deck is busted, team. And now it's just building Storm. Float red, mill myself. Float blue. Storm is 13. This is now lethal. And I will send the first Grape Shot at them. The first of many. Hopefully we only need one, though. Cool. Look at that. That's the combo. A Fire Spout looks pretty cool here. Lightning Bolt, the Flames, the Jace, the normal trimming of the periphery. I think Haywire Might can come out here. Savine's Wreck, and one of the Sagas. I'm going to try it like this, not being super familiar what this deck's entire sideboard entails. But having a bunch of removal seems like it makes sense. Bunch of removal in my hand, and the heavily busted Malevolent Rumble. Bonus on 6. Blood Crypt. Another Goyf. Well, I could kill that with Thoughtseize. If they cycle Straight Wraith in response, it still dies. Or kill that with Lightning Bolt. If I cycle Straight Wraith, it still dies to Lightning Bolt. I'll get my Steam Vents. Bolt this. Hope they can't put 2 different card types in the graveyard at instant speed. Got him. Okay, pressure's off. Thoughtseize probably is going to take Rumble or one of the Flames. Grinding Station just doesn't matter at this phase of the game. Because Grinding Station doesn't matter unless you have Breach, and if Grinding Station's in your graveyard, that's as good as your hand when you play Breach. Thoughtseize me, cycle Straight Wraith afterwards. Another Blood Crypt. And Faithless Looting. Some Hollow 1s could come my way here. If true, I hope it's just Hollow 1 and not Hollow 2. Detective Phoenix in the graveyard. And nothing. Love that. Okay, I'm going to invest my Grinding Station here. It does save me 2 mana on the Breach turn if it's in play. At the cost of they could target it with Shatter. There is another Goyf in their graveyard if they have land number 3. That's something they could do. Another Wraith down to 9. Dothy Voidwalker, that one's pretty good. They know I have removal for it in my hand, though. They didn't know about that one. I'm going to spout this Voidwalker. Spout it right out. Spout, spout. Let it all out. Dothy Voidwalker I could live without. Magebane Lizard. Alright, whenever anyone casts a non-creature spell, they take damage equal to the number of non-creature spells they've cast this turn. That card would be good if it wasn't dead. Deal 5 to target creature. And next turn I can deploy Jace and get the draw engine going. That Detective Phoenix in the graveyard's pretty serious, though. If they find a 1-drop creature, or now a 2-drop, and gas it up, give it haste, that could do a lot. Magebane Lizard, they could give it 6 toughness right now. Alright, they solved it. Take 1, though, sucker. Okay, this will kill me pretty fast, and Flame of Anor doesn't beat it. Emery. Emery versus Jace here is interesting. I think I'm going to play Jace. It just does way more, and the mana is less efficient. I go to 9, target myself, draw a card, another Emery. Lost an Unholy Heat. That's disappointing. That's probably the best card in my deck right now for this board state. Cycling down to 6. Opponent is a Brave Hero. Faithless Looting. They're down to 5. Axe of Agonis in the graveyard, but they don't have red, mercifully. Me or Jace? Where are you going? Alright, going for me. They want to win with damage, not worried about this card draw engine / alternate win con. And dumped the 3rd Street Wraith off of Raucous Theater. Big moves. Malevolent Rumble could be a big move. So I go to 5 if I Rumble. I guess I should just plus Jace first, because that is just free and happening. Grape Shot in the graveyard. Now I'm heavily incentivized to find a Breach and to answer the Lizard. Rumble finds a Breach and an Otawara. What am I actually more interested in here? Because I'll be at 2 when I put Underworld Breach on the stack, and if I just bounce the stupid lizard, that's a whole different can of bacon. All right, I'm going to take Otawara, and Emery is a creature spell I can cast here. Do I leave up Spell Pierce? I don't think so. Their spells are all really good. Okay. Passing the turn. Emery reduces the cost of Otawara, and she's a wizard for Flame. There's this Ox of Agonis in their graveyard right now. Anything could happen. It's going to be another tight one. Not if they just draw a Lightning Bolt, though. Maybe don't do that. Here's your Ox. This is a 5/3 creature. It doesn't have haste or anything. It does draw 3 cards, though. We've seen Lightning Bolt in their deck. We know it exists. Ox doesn't have any combat words on it. No trample, no haste, no menace. I'm at 2. A Bowmaster kills me if I just activate Jace. Bunch of ways to just die here. Miss Phoenix has haste, just as a Phoenix. So even if I bounce Magebane Lizard, and they bestow the Phoenix, and I kill the Lizard, or the target in response. Okay, so this puts them to 2. Alright. And they take, what, Flame of Anor? They're going to have to, or they die. They're suddenly... Oh no, they're not quite dead to combat. It's so close, though. They did take the Flame. If they bolt me right now, they lose. Blood Crypt. Not untapped, coward. Alright. It's a big turn. I got some big draws coming. Misty Rainforest. Not great. Target player mills 2, and I draw a card. Well, I guess I target myself with this. I drew Soul Guide Lantern. That's pretty good. That doesn't deal with the Phoenix because it doesn't fall off. It's just a 2/2. All of my artifacts in my graveyard. I don't have Haywire Might in. I did board that out, right? Yeah, that would be a good one to have access to right at this exact moment. Emery can cast Aether Spellbomb. And then I would have block, Spellbomb, block Otawara. Okay, I mean, I guess I'm doing this. I'm going to play this Misty Rainforest that doesn't work. Does having it in play mean anything? Okay. I'm going to target Aether Spellbomb. I go to 1 from casting this. And I'm going to pass the turn. So this is 2 bounces and a blocker on the ground. Still dead to most things here. But I have to let the Lizard get into combat before I bounce it, or else they just attack with this 2/2 flyer. I lose to Fatal Push here, but that was unavoidable. They didn't have a Bolt or a Fatal Push last turn, or I guess they couldn't have cast them because they were stuck under their own Lizard. We're in combat. Okay, block the Ox of Agonis, and bounce Magebane Lizard with Otawara. Then if they replay Magebane Lizard, I bounce it again with Aether Spellbomb, and then I get 1 turn to send it. Arena of Glory, Magebane Lizard, 1 unknown. Dothy Voidwalker. Well, that one's pretty bad for me, but okay. Can't do anything about it. And the Lizard. Okay, end step, I have to bounce the Lizard. And then Voidwalker is going to be an issue, but we'll figure it out, I guess. Just got to draw Breach. Emery's not it. Emery, what do you have access to? Just mana. There's just Opals in my graveyard right now. I guess I mill them for 2 and I draw a card. And anything I mill ends up in the void. Okay. Mill you for 2, I draw a card. On Rumble. That looks at Breach. I just need to cast Grape Shot this turn, so yeah, I mean, let's do it. Rumble. Show me a Breach. We found a Breach. Breach. Okay. I think I win. Target Opal with Emery. Opal. I will not be grinding anyone. And I have to get another artifact into play for Opal to work. Exile, I guess, Faithless Looting from your graveyard. There's another Opal in my graveyard. That's what I need to cast the Grape Shot. We did it, squad. And we know their hand. And then cast Breach. Float a red. Play. I have Amber and Opal in the graveyard. It doesn't matter which one I do, as long as I don't exile my Grape Shot. Amber. And grape shot you. Bang. This match was sick. We had to use like all 5 dimensions of the deck in both games to win at 1 or 2 life. That was awesome. This was a really fun match to play. The BoshNRoll channel is proudly partnered with the Resleevables.
Good. All right, here we go, gang.
In this YouTube series, hosts Cedric Phillips and Patrick Sullivan take us on a set-by-set journey through the good, the bad, and the ugly of Magic's history. Each episode is a focused deep dive into the facts about a set's design and release, the Magic lore expressed through the cards in that set, Tournament Edition gameplay videos featuring products and Pro Tour decks of the era, an award show that shouts out the best and weirdest cards of the set, and a final grade for the set's overall success. Whether you want a history lesson or a nostalgia hit, The Resleevables has it at youtube.com/theresleevables. On the play in round 4 with a turn 1 Emery that also just already has Breach here, I'm going to keep. Okay, fetch, Stim Vents, Bobble, Emerino, Savine's Wreck in the graveyard and a Breach. I'll bobble you at least once. There's a Bowmaster. So they are a black deck, which means I'll pump the brakes on the second bobble in case they have Thoughtseize. And in case I find a Mox Opal. Swamp. Can't Fatal Push with that. Thoughtseize is a bummer, but I do have a Draw Engine online. Oh, Soul Spike. Exiling Shieldred and the Meat Hook Massacre. Alright, my soul has been spiked. I am going to bobble them again now. Another spike. Grinding Station. So if I play Grinding Station this turn, I win next turn, unless they discard spell me, but Bowmaster Soul Spike are 2 of the cards they have access to. Alright, I'm going to play Grinding Station, and then I guess win next turn. If they have Dothy Voidwalker, that's troublesome. If they have Thoughtseize, that's troublesome. Yeah, I don't care if they're suspending Profane Tutor. That's what just happened there. So Profane Tutor on suspend, and they're deceased. I don't think they're main decking Surgicals. There's one unknown. Okay, I could preordain. Do I need to? Is there any reason to? Is there any reason to or any reason not to? And it's a card in the graveyard, I guess. All right. And it's more selection, and it doesn't affect really anything. There's an Opal. Bottom Scalding Tarn. Top Opal. Okay. Stomping Ground. Underworld Breach. Mox Opal from hand. I'm not going to grind this time, and then I just grind my way through this. All right, yep, cool. Little turn 3 Goldfish through a removal spell. Okay, so this is the mono black Necro Dominant Soul Spike deck. Nature's Claim looks good. I didn't even know people were still playing this deck, so I do not know what they're going to do out of the sideboard. Probably Dothy Voidwalkers and Thoughtseizes. Unholy Heat lines up against what I expect is involved in their sideboard plan. Consigned to Memory is like Time Walk against them, but I don't want to Time Walk them. I want to blow them out. Boseiju and Nature's Claim can kill a Necro Dominance. Is this the rare matchup where I don't bring in my Flame of Anors? Is Spell Snare good against them? Spell Pierce is good. I just said Dothy Voidwalker, but I have 2 Unholy Heats and potentially 3 Flame of Anor to deal with that. Haywire Might. I guess Soul Guide Lantern. They're not doing a lot out of their graveyard. I can live without that. And I can turn a Saga into a Boseiju. Okay, I'm going to learn more about their sideboard this game. Hopefully we don't need a game 3, but if I see just like mono Voidwalker, Hate Bear stuff, there's still a Lightning Bolt, Fire Spout, and Pyroclasm I could get out of the sideboard. But mostly just keeping the deck together. This is a Preordain and a Spell Pierce. I am ice cold to Thoughtseize, because Thoughtseize can actually take my land here. I'm going to keep, though. I would keep if this was a fetch land, and I'm just going to behave like my opponent's not going to Thoughtseize me. Uh-oh. I'm going to hide the Sink into Stupor over on the right, where maybe they won't see it. Take the Preordain. Take the Preordain. I have a bunch of mana in my deck. Like, if I just draw a fetch land right here, I didn't. It's okay. We'll see if they have follow-up for this. All right. Straight into Dalthi Voidwalker. The dream. Fetch land? Shit. Okay. My gamble did not pay off, and now I'm losing. I'm not going to concede yet, though. I will dump this Malevolent Rumble. I will not be rumbling into a Voidwalker. If they have the Necro, I think I'll just scoop. Okay, Profane Tutor gone. I'm holding 3 answers to Dalthi Voidwalker if I can cast spells, and look at this. We're in. Preordain. No time for Tamiyo here. Gotta find mana. Bottom. Mana unlocked. Suddenly gaming. Profane Tutor comes off next turn, which is when I will have Spell Pierce available. Another Voidwalker. The race is on, but I am going to have a Wizard. Look at all these lands. Let's go. Okay, play my Wizard. Pass. And the Profane Tutor, I hope they get something that is spell pierceable, but they have seen the Pierce with the Thoughtseize, so that would be pretty silly if they did that. There's a Preordain and a Rumble in the Void. Neither of those are helpful to them right now. And this is after missing 3 land drops. Like, literally didn't play a card for 3 turns, and it's still this close. Inquisition of Kozilek. Well, go ahead. Reach in there. Have a grab. Took one of the flames. They put me to 6, so I am dead on board here. I fetched a 5. I have to shock in a breeding pool. Oh, this is bad. Yeah, it might be... Okay, if they have a spell here too, we're just completely cooked. March of Wretched Sorrow. Okay. I mean, that one's not too bad. I don't need the Tamiyo for this line. I guess, yeah, I do. Never mind. Okay. Hedge Maze. Urza Saga. That saves me 2 damage. That could be the difference maker. Flame. Destroy, or 5 to target thing. Either Spellbomb the other one. Stabilize it 2. Or they have Necro Dominance right now. All right. We're very dead. They just need to find a Soul Spike in their 20 cards they get to look at right now. Turns out skipping your first 3 turns of the game is not advisable. They drew 20 cards, and they do have a Soul Spike. Okay. Dalthi Voidwalker, 1,000,000% confirmed. In large numbers. I don't want to go crazy here and completely ruin my deck. But I do want to respect that thing. Lightning Bolt, Spell Snare, +2 answers to that. Does Nature's Claim suck? It really only lines up against exactly Necro Dominance and no other card in their deck. That card is, of course, really important. I could go to 2 Opals and -1 Rumble. Okay, yeah. Combo's starting to get pretty thin, but I think we're in the right place. Okay, this hand looks familiar, except this time I have lands in it. I'm going to keep. And I'm just going to basic Island Tamiyo. Make them come to this. And as we saw in game 1, they are willing to 3-for-1 themselves to Soul Spike a turn 1 Tamiyo if they don't have a better response. Fatal Push, you got me. I'm going to take a turn off of... Okay, Amber's sick. I'm going to take a turn off of Urza Saga to make sure all my colors and mana are under me. Inquisition, all my cards are reasonable here. Sink into Stupor is tough for them if they're trying to resolve Necro next turn. Rumble sets up my whole game plan, and Grape Shot doesn't really matter for a while, but it is a conditional answer to a Dalthi Voidwalker. Took the Rumble, and they're going to take Sink. Okay. Well, Tamiyo, you have a job to do here. Young lady. Attack, and I'm going to draw a card right away. Mox Amber. If they have the Necro, it's going to work. Yep, you're in there. How deep can they go is the question. I'm at 20, and they have to deal with Tamiyo. Okay, they drew 10. That seems like a responsible middle ground zone. Soul Spike pitching 2 cards. Dumped Boggart Trawler and Thoughtseize to that. And then they have to discard 5 into exile. A second Necro, an Orcish Bowmaster, and a bunch of swamps sent to the exile zone. Pretty bad draws here. I'm going to need these constructs to do the work. They don't get a draw step. Castle Lochthwain is rough. Shieldred does a lot. Okay. So they're going to send the max here. And they end up plus 13 life. So there'll be a 27 at the end of this chain. All right, yeah. Shieldred stuff happens. And now we're in an interesting spot where they have passed priority, which means if I pass priority, they just go straight to cleanup. If I make a Saga token, they can Soul Spike it. But I guess this is like basically free to do for me. They may get to gain 4 life, or otherwise they wouldn't. But I don't think that's going to be the thing that changes the game. And I'm going to get my Steam Vents tapped here. Oh, we're still just going to clean up. They just missed on a Soul Spike. I like that. The draw 13, discard most of them sequence. If I find a Beseju, a Sink into Stupor, oh wait, Haywire Might's still in the deck, right? I just tutored that this turn. And then I have to beat Shieldred with my creatures. That sounds good. Okay, draw for turn. Bobble. I lose 2 life. I accept. Make a construct. Tutor Haywire Might. Play Bobble. Attack for 5. Surgicling Urza Saga in response. Okay. You'll find 2 more of those in my deck. Okay, Bobble is in. Might as well play the land. Attack for 5. Storm is 2. If I could Bobble myself. I don't need to Bobble them. Alright, yeah, I'm going to Bobble me. This does cost me 2 life, but it's worth it. Unholy Heat. Let's frickin' go. Alright. Go to my opponent's turn. I draw for Bobble. Shieldred triggers. I could Fetch Shock kill Shieldred right now. And then they don't gain life. Oh wait, they don't have a draw step anyway. Yeah, it doesn't matter. If they activate a castle, I'm going to Unholy Heat in response. Just making sure my Stomping Ground's still in the deck. It does appear to be. Necromentia. Alright, well, I'll respond to this. Stomping Ground. Heat the Shieldred. If they have some sort of graveyard hay right now, they could take me off. Okay. Necromentia names Underworld Breach, and they just get beat to death by the constructs. Okay. I don't have any breaches or sagas left in my deck. I do have 6 power on board, and I can kill their engine. Stealthy Voidwalker. I'll respond to that with the Haywire Might, because I don't want that in the void for them. And I would like to gain 2 life. Both things would not happen. If I draw any spell, Grape Shot kills Voidwalker. That qualifies as a spell. And a good one at that. Because it grows my squad. Same target. Grape Shot does end up in the void, but I have no other way to win with Grape Shot at this point. I'm just attacking. Bonus is 12, 2 cards in hand. Castle Lochthwain available. 1 card in hand, Inquisition. The meme, or no, they're probably just actually flushing that out so they can Lochthwain for less. Not even a meme. Actually just a cool play. I'm going to attack. I think I'm just going to hold on to Flame of Anor. If they find a blocker, I don't want them to have it. Can I kill them here? So it's target player draws 2 cards. They would go to 1. Alright, yeah, you can have 1. That's a little risky too, because if they draw a Fatal Push, push a construct, then they don't die, and I fed them a bunch of cards. Augur Trawler. Yeah, that comes in. And they're dead. That was fun. We have a trophy match coming. We're a few rounds into the video. If you're still here and having fun, remember to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to play what I'm playing, use code BOSH for 5% off your order at toamagic.com. Eternal lives here. I'm on the draw in the final trophy round. I am going to keep my hand. Preordain is awesome. Malevolent Rumble's awesome. Urza Saga's pretty good. Bonus on 6. Blooded Strand. I think I'm just going to get my basic island here, because the Hedge Mace is already in my hand, and Stomping Ground Island are all my colors. Basic Island Preordain. Spellbomb medium, but it is good at helping to turn on the Opal. I definitely want the Opal. Yeah, I think I'll top here. I can at least use the Eldrazi to cast the Spellbomb next turn. Indatha Triumph. Okay, so Domain Zoo, perhaps? These are Domain together. Psychic Frog. Oh my goodness. What a delight. Okay, Stomping Ground. Malevolent Rumble. Just trying to send it here. Looking for the goods. There's a Tamiyo, an Emery, and a Saga. I definitely don't want Saga. Emery versus Tamiyo. Emery is slower. Tamiyo is worse. I think I'll take Tamiyo for the upside of if this game goes that long, she does turn on Metalcraft. I can also Saga Rumble Tamiyo next turn with the mana that I have. If I had fetched Breeding Pool on turn 1, I could have my Saga ticking up already, but I'm not even sure that's good. Temple Garden, Leyline Binding. That's going to take my Opal. I could have sandbagged it, I guess. Okay. I mean, Spellbomb makes more sense. Never mind. That makes my Opal worse. I couldn't sandbag that one. That mana was temporary. They just discarded an extra land, trying to up their clock here. They know what they need to do, which is kill me. Tribal Flames. I'm at 10. Redundant Opal. Don't love it. Malevolent Rumble. Finds Grinding Station. Guess we're halfway there. Living on a prayer. The Tamiyo they know about. And pass the turn. Tamiyo can block if they jump. If I think the damage and card are worth more than Tamiyo is. Discarded Force of Negation. That's scary. They either don't have a blue card in hand, or they have a better answer already. I don't think I can block this, actually. The Tamiyo attack gets me Metalcraft with the Grinding Station. And if I'm playing to a world where I'm just going to top deck Underworld Breach. Emery, not thrilling. Okay, I'm going to play Grinding Station before I do anything else. Yeah, I'll just play Grinding Station. This lets me play Emery. If they have a Stubborn Denial, they could play it, I guess. Discarded Lightning Bolt. This makes Stubborn Denial, whatever the thing is, ferocious. Okay, yep. Cast with Ferocious. This is countered. And now I'm going to go Urza Saga Emery, and I cannot attack with Tamiyo. I actually need her as a chump block now. Emery flips. Nothing important, but the graveyard is gassed up now. Yeah, I can't attack with Tamiyo here. Not responsibly. Opponent's down to 2 cards in hand. If they are Lightning Bolt, Tribal Flames, I would just die if I had attacked. Flying the Frog, you gotta do it, or else I would just block with the Spawn. Block. Okay, my Aether Spellbomb is under the Leyline Binding, but I have a Haywire Might in my deck. So I can answer the Psychic Frog and gain life while I do it. Okay, that doesn't really help. What's the best sequence here? If I sack my Spawn, I might be able to do 2 things this turn. Make a Construct, tutor Haywire Might, float green. Hold on, I don't necessarily need to float. Emery is still in play. I have a Mishra's Bauble available to me. Play out this Bauble and exile the Leyline Binding. I gain 2 life. That's important. Am I willing to spend 2 life to make a Construct this turn? That's still... it would cost me 2 life and my Opal. I think that's worth it. Okay. Shock, float blue, play secondary Opal, bounce Psychic Frog. And now I can bounce that every turn, and I'm starting to clap back with bigger creatures. I think I want my Bauble around just for size on constructs. Frog's back for now. Land deployed. Construct that I paid my hard-earned life to unlock. It cost me 2 life and a card. Sink into Stupors, great. Make a Construct. Gonna tutor Amber here, I think. Box Amber. Can play this Hedge Maze. Dumped a Bauble, I don't need that. Target Aether Spellbomb. Doing all this pre-combat. Spellbomb. A fetch now. That means they have to block or they lose. And if I bounce, they go to 2. I don't think that helps. All right, yeah, cool. The grindy plan kicking in a game 1 situation. Unusual, but we'll take it. Okay, Domain Zoo is what's going on here. They have like lanterns, damping spheres, wear tears in the sideboard. Fire Spout, Lightning Bolt, Flame of Anor, Jace. Urza Saga is so bad versus wear tear. This deck plays Flage these days, so I need my Graveyard Hate accessible. Lightning Bolt and Fire Spout, I think, actually kills 0 creatures in their deck, so I can back off of that, just thinking about it a little more. They kill Orcish Bowmaster, but the rest of the cards in their deck are like Territorial Kavu, Scion of Draco, Psychic Frog, Flage. Yeah, Nature's Claim actually kills the Leyline, the Scion, and the Leyline Bindings. I'm going to go down to 1 Urza Saga here. Okay, Wizard Control kicking in. Unholy Heat, solid. The rest of the hand, medium, but Boseju's got to count as a spell here. Like, if they mulligan low, looking for answers to my main deck cards that I've just boarded out many of. Okay, they went to 6 and put in a ley line, so 5 actual cards in their hand. All right, well, I guess I'm playing the Steam Vents now that I've drawn my breeding pool. Mox Amber, Sink into Stupor. I don't think I want either of these. I'm looking for, like, Wizards and Flames. To another land. Perfect. Undercity Sewer. Sacred Foundry. This is 4 land types. The Scion. I will have to Boseju this ley line in order to even play the game here. And I guess I have to fetch Stomping Ground because I did not play Breeding Pool last turn. Stomping Ground. That was probably avoidable damage. Do I put Mox Opal into play? I don't think so. And when do I hit the ley line? Is it their draw step? Yeah, I think it's their draw step. I would love to kill the Draco, but as long as ley line's in play, it has hexproof. 2 card types in the graveyard right now. I got Undathted Triome and Raucous Theater. The reason I didn't Boseju on my turn is that they have these Surveil lands. This is still a big creature, even if it doesn't have hexproof. And if it's backed by 1 or 2 counterspells, they're in great shape. Tamiyo, we like her. They play Tamiyo. And I think I am going to play Mox Opal now, because if they destroy it, that could trick them into giving me Delirium. Hell yeah, okay. So now if they kill Tamiyo, I can kill Scion. Ooh, I have Hedge Maze in my deck. I could spike Delirium right now. And that would be insane. Leyline Binding, disappointing. Okay, well, they're almost out of answers. Hedge Maze, give me Delirium. Shifting Woodland, that is not helpful and doesn't give me Delirium. Okay. I think that Dice Roll was right. It just didn't work out this time. Psychic Frog, 1 card left in hand. I think Haywire Might is the best draw in my deck right now. Underworld Breach. That card's usually pretty good. Okay. I'm going to fetch for basic island and then cast Underworld Breach with the most colors up. If they have another counter, that's good for them, but I do get Delirium. Surgicling my Opal in response. That does make this worse, but they are Hellbent. I can preordain without changing Delirium because they're literally all lands here. Flame of Anor, Grinding Station, so close. I just have to bottom. I'm looking for pretty much exactly Mishra's Bauble, Flame of Anor, and I mean, they're Hellbent, so I can kill... Oh no, it has Hexproof, actually. Just regular old Hexproof. Damn it. All right. Doesn't even need to cheat. Okay, just got over the finish line on that one. That was sweet. Surgical Extraction revealed. And Consigned to Memory is in. They don't have to do much if they're attacking. Their stuff gets really bad if they're not attacking. Consigned to Memory does counter Draco and counters the triggered ability of Leyline Binding and counters the front of Soul Guide Lantern. I just don't think I need Savine's Wreck and we're deciding what I would like instead. Maybe it's just Malevolent Rumble and go for speed now that I'm on the play. Okay. Right back in. 1 game to decide them all. And we will mulligan this hand with no mana. So close. This is almost busted. I will keep this hand. And I think I'm going to put one of these Sink into Stupors on the bottom. This hand hurts, but it basically just has to function. And I have to play Sink as land to get my 3 colors. Opponent said they kept an iffy hand. Good luck. All right. We'll see what that means. There's no leyline in it. They're passing the turn. I'm going to put Tamiyo into combat. And now I could Rumble. Yeah, I think I just want to go for the max here. Get Stomping Ground. Cast Rumble. They could Stubborn Denial this, but that could Stubborn Denial out of the hand, and Flame of Anor is ready to go with Kicker. Steam Vents. Okay, yep. We knew that was possible. Did it on purpose. Now I hope Steam Vents isn't a land that really plays their game. A second land, and it is a fetch, so they can get Domain here. Spell Snare, I like that card. I think I'm just going to be attacking with Tamiyo and chillin' on that wizard control game. I got 3 answers in my hand and 2 card draws in play. Triome. They have domain. Leyline Binding is fine. I can free Tamiyo from those chains. Okay, so I'm going to end step fetch the basic island. And I'm going to Nature's Claim first, so soft permission doesn't get me here. And then crack my clue. If they just have another one of these, that's fine, I guess. All right. We have exchanged our resources. I'll crack a clue. Another flame. Jace. All right. I don't like that Stubborn Denial gets me here, but I do really want to draw 2 cards. And we did it. Underworld Breach in the grip now. Missed the land drop. Don't love it. Raucous Theater. Dumped Fatal Push. Tribal Flames. I'm at 8. The burn game is real. Spellbomb. Okay, I can go Spellbomb, Emery, hold up Spell Snare for a turn. Maybe Emery will get me into a Breach win. Emery is a wizard for the future. There's a lot of mana being spent. The old hardcast Leyline. That is not useless, but it's not what they wanted. I'm sure of that. Okay. Underworld Breach this turn. I can play another Emery. There's somehow literally 0 artifacts in my graveyard right now for Emery to use. I think I'm going to sack Spellbomb to draw a card, just to get some Emery stuff happening. Preordain. I'm just going to replay Spellbomb, play Breeding Pool tapped. I'm trying to protect my life total here. As long as I don't get cheesed out, I think we're okay. It's just a matter of time. And they haven't cast like a real card yet this game. Get a Surveil. Dumped a Spell Snare. Another land. Did they keep like 5 lands to Leyline Binding? Was that the iffy keep? A Tamiyo. We like those. Tamiyo. I can't just flip her right now. I can preordain, and then once preordain has resolved, Aether Spellbomb can flip her anytime. Opal's great. I don't want this Grape Shot. Knowing it's at the bottom of my deck also lets me plan some things. Opal. Draw a card with Spellbomb. Flip Tamiyo. Got another Opal. Plus Tamiyo. Emery, replay the Spellbomb. If my opponent has 3 Lightning Bolts, they can win. If they have Tribal Flames, I got them. If they're relying on creatures, I feel good. Temple Garden, the old 6-land zoo deck. They might be almost out of fetchables. This deck plays more fetches than fetchables generally. And they've got a lot of different lands in play right now. Okay, I can beat this with Flame of Anor. I don't need to spend Spell Snare on it when they have relevant burn spells in their deck. I also have Aether Spellbomb literally in play. Mox Amber. That's more mana. We like mana. Okay, red, blue, something else. Deal 5, draw 2. This does not have hexproof because they don't have Scion. If they've been sitting on a Bowmaster this long, that wouldn't make any sense based on how the game is played out. Mishra's Bauble. Now Emery's a draw engine without costing mana. And I get to see what they draw every turn of the game and sculpt everything. They've got a Flooded Strand coming. I guess I'll just plus Tamiyo again. To be super cautious, I could minus Tamiyo, put Nature's Claim in my hand, and just make sure I could gain 4 life, but they're packed up, they know they're locked. And there it is, the trophy with Temur Breach, a deck that is completely busted and awesome. I think we used every tool in the deck, except Light from the Loam. I didn't reach for that. But Tamiyo had games, Emery had games, Saga had games, Breach Combo won some insane squeakers. Haywire Might was an MVP multiple times. Flame of Anor, that sideboard just become Is It Wizards with Underworld Breach in your deck somewhere. This was a lot of fun. Leo, thank you for sharing it with me. Everyone, thanks for watching. I think this is going to be one of those decks that we remember fondly once it's banned. Man, I love Mox Opal. Like, comment, subscribe, check out the Patreon. I'll see you next time.